anyhow, speaking of bottom 50 movies, and this is a controversial choice. The 1988 is somewhat of a cult classic. Nightmare Sisters. It's a pretty, I'm not sure if it's necessarily well known, but honestly, from my understanding, it's pretty well respected. These, basically, there are three geeky college girls who want to, have some fun, have some parties. They invite some geeky college guys over. Of course, these geeky guys think, hey, maybe we have a chance with these girls. Then the girls get possessed by, I think it's technically a demon, and then they became sort of like sex-crazed, lustful nymphs, and they try to hit on, the guys, and sort of like, I guess they could suck out their energy when they engage in carnal action with them. And the movie has a very, very light-hearted comedy feel, which you can tell from the first opening scene. I think the opening scene went on about 9 minutes too long, but it's slightly amusing. My problem is the comedy in this movie was way too much for me. I don't mind some silly comedic horror movies, but this one was just way over the top. That said, there was enjoyable things in the movie, and there was certainly some funny things going on, funny references made. But before we get any deeper as deep as you can get into this movie, what were your feelings on this one, Chucky?
I had very similar feelings towards this movie. I went in really wanting to enjoy it because I have watched some other similar movies, from the same directors and actors and actresses. Now, I mean, this one, it's just really goofy. It's, as a lot of these movies are, the script is paper thin, probably written on one page. Here, do this, say this, you'll be fine. It's probably more a movie, I suspect, that you watch more for the actresses. I know Linnea Quigley's got her huge fan base. To be honest, I don't really understand her appeal. I'm not necessarily a fan of any movies that she has a prominent role in, or at least if I am, it's got nothing to do with her. I do like Michelle Bauer, but I'm not going out of my way to watch a movie just because she's in it. And the other one, I don't even know if I've seen her in anything else. Directed by David Dakota, who does make a lot of these kind of silly, goofy type of movies. I just didn't think there was a whole lot going on in this movie. I mean, you get like 50 minutes in, and I mean, it's been a while since I've watched it, so I'm just going off memory, but I think, you go 50 minutes in, and so far you've just seen these women kind of goof around, have this ridiculously long bathtub scene. I don't know. I mean, I certainly enjoy... I'm not going to complain seeing Michelle Bauer naked on the screen, but... there's not much else going for it at that point.
So I think, and you've probably read this too, this movie eventually made its way to TV, and of course they took out that long nude scene and they switched in, I think it's a Apollo fighting scene. So for a long time people had wanted to see the the full-length bathroom scene, and so when it came out, I think a lot of people were quite happy about it. I enjoyed the scene for about 30 seconds, and then it kept going for 6 minutes. So, I mean, the women, none of the women, in my opinion, well, let me phrase this. I wouldn't say no to any of them, but I wouldn't go out of my way to engage in any activities with these women. I mean, they're fine-looking women, but I don't need a 8-minute scrubbing soap off somebody's breasts. I just don't need that.
I need it, but for different reasons.
Yeah, so some people may need it, and that's fine. The main problem in this movie is it just goes way over the top. And I'll be honest, if I had known this movie was going to be as reliant on comedy as it actually was, I probably would have even watched it. When I first watched it, this back in, like, I think 2017, I didn't know pretty much anything about this movie, so I just started it. And from the opening scene with the really, really annoying fortune teller, he admitted had like maybe one or two funny lines, but when I was watching this, I had some difficulty with it. And there's some funny things in the movie, but it's just way, way too over the top. It had potential, and there were some things I liked, some okay actors and actresses, but this movie didn't quite do much for me, and I'll give it a 4 out of 10, which is obviously it's below average rating for me. So yeah, I just didn't get much from this.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's a pretty goofy movie, which sometimes is fine, but it just seems it just seems quite uninspired. Like you said, that first scene, not the first scene, but one of the earlier scenes where they're just talking in the room, it just runs on way too long, and there's not... I mean, it's like someone just plopped a camera down and said, just be goofy for a while, and, we'll just put it all in the movie. It just, it didn't do anything for me. The nudity's fine, but if that's all you've got, then, I mean, I can just go watch porno instead. I give the movie a 4 out of 10 as well, and I think if you're someone who watches movies, or you're kind of interested in these types of movies, but maybe something that's a bit better, I think Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bowl-orama is a much better movie with some of the same actors or actresses in this movie. May even be from the same director off the top of my head. I can't recall. But yeah, I definitely recommend watching that instead of this.